Y'all ignore my hair. It's fluffy. I went to bed with my hair wet. We have a problem, America, and I actually have a solution for this problem. We have a bunch of politicians and people in political seats of power, whether it's state, local, federal, whatever, that are basically giving us the proverbial middle finger, and they're just like, yeah, we don't really care what you want. We don't care about your little protest. We're going to do what the fuck we want anyway because you voted us in power and there's nothing you can do about it. Na boo boo. That's a problem, right? And everybody's like, it's capitalism's fault. No, it's not. It's the fact that we just all of a sudden forgot about the human condition, something that is unfortunately a grim reality in the majority of us. Not everybody, but the mass majority of us. It's all, everybody's got a price, as the saying goes. It's not capitalism's fault, okay? It's the fact that we just, are trusting people in a white lab coat or people in a position of power. Or our current political system either were voted in because they had a lot of money and power already and they could afford to run, or they were propped up by somebody who has a lot of money or has a lot of power and can therefore afford to run. But here's the problem with that, okay? I'm not saying all people in power are psychopaths, but I am saying that all psychopaths seek power. Okay? And they're usually pretty damn good at attaining it, and they love to reach to the top, okay? That's the reality of it. They've cornered the market in our political system, and that's our fault. I'm sorry, it's our fault. And I have a solution. I have a solution to this. And if I can get just enough people to make a difference, to agree, to stand with me and make a promise and help me build this thing, it would be perfect. Here's the solution, because we all got problems, but nobody seems to have any solutions. Well, I got one for you, baby, okay? The issue is not capitalism as a whole. It is money in politics. For the simple fact that the human condition has a natural inclination towards self and greed. Okay? That's just what it is. And we're not mitigating for that. And that is our fault as society, as America, the people. That is our fault. I want to fix it by having a built YouTube-like platform that people who are running for positions of power can debate each other on there, because they can have channels. They can debate each other, sort of like a duo cam sort of setup, and have roundtables where potential constituents can come up and through their microphone on their account can ask them questions, so forth and so on. It's done with a hashtag system. But in order to run on this particular platform, you have to be able to prove that you are not taking any outside money for any reason outside of the price, outside of a donated flight, local area to Washington, D.C. and back and home again. That is it. For bare necessity, that's the only thing that you are able to take money for. At the end of the day, we have a problem right now where their excuse for taking all this outside funding, all this lobbying, is for their campaigns because they need it. Bullshit. It's 2026. We don't need that. I want to reduce the price of a campaign, cost of a webcam and a microphone, and then require anybody who uses this platform to prove to us that they are not taking any sort of outside funding for any reason. And we have volunteers that basically help run the debates and kind of will stop ad hominem attacks and, red flag people, whatever. And we'll monitor the potential constituents that come to run to make sure they're not taking outside funding. Because if they are, they're immediately removed off the platform. If I can get this built really robust and we refuse to vote for anybody who does not run this platform, and there's enough of us, we change these motherfuckers that have tons of political power and money, that don't have our best interests at heart, that are totally segregated outside from our problems and our world in their little, gated communities and stuff, right? And you change that from the people who actually are sitting in the shit with us, and they have a self-desire to improve the situation because that's their environment. They have to deal with the problems as well. Right? Right. So what does this change? I'll put it to you like this. Right now, everybody and their mama's dog knows that lobbying is bad, okay? Lobbying is what has funded the war machine. Lobbying is what funds our sick care system, that basically makes it to where, these people cannot stay billionaires or trillionaires even if they actually heal people, right? They have to keep their symptoms masked and keep them sick. that's the only way that this multi-billion-dollar industry maintains its bottom line, right? That's a problem. Everybody knows this is a problem. Everybody knows that, insider trading is bad, okay? Everybody knows that it reeks of corruption, and yet nothing is ever done about it. Why? Because the people that are in positions of power that are oversaturated in our political sphere are people that are bought off already just by the simple act of running, are bought off already by the super rich and super powerful that have a high likelihood of being psychopaths, right? Right. Or they are those people themselves. That's what it is. That's our reality. And that's our fault for allowing that shit to happen. We need to make laws and change laws to where, for example, if you are found for any reason to be taking a single red cent in the form of lobbying or a gift for anything, okay? Anything. You are immediately taken out of political office. No impeachment, no proceedings, none of that bullshit. You're immediately taken out, no questions asked, and the person who ran against you is put in. Yeah, it would suck. A few people would be stupid enough to rip off that Band-Aid, but the second that we enforced it a couple of times, that shit would stop. And then you can make the argument, well, what if they just bide their time and they do what the bidding of, say, what Big Pharma or whatever, or Big Ag wants them to do, or the war machine wants them to do, and then they don't take any money during their term, and they are basically given a cushy seat on a board as soon as they leave office. Yeah, that's a problem. If we find out that you do that, you immediately get to spend the rest of your natural born life in prison. The only way that we implement laws like this that are kind of harsh but necessary in order to mitigate against this very, very vulnerable position of power, which it's vulnerable to the human condition, unless we change laws and actually enforce them, that never changes. And we can't get that unless we get people in there that actually have, they're in the shit with us and they want to change things, and they refuse, and they've proven to us through running through this campaign that they will refuse to take outside funding. Capitalism's not the problem. The human condition and not mitigating for it is. So yeah, I don't know. If you're sick of your grandmother's home being stolen from her so that we can build more data centers that'll just pollute the environment. If you're sick of literally having to deal with a horrible sick care system. If you're sick of the secrecy in our government that allows these motherfuckers to have the Invention Secrecy Act, where they can basically hide anything, any invention that might actually give us clean, free energy that will take out, the big oil, right? If you're sick of all this shit and you want it to change, help me. And I'm reaching across the aisle. I'm center right, right? I'm willing to just totally just wash all the shit from COVID, okay? I love you. It's not me versus you. It's us as us, all of us, versus them. And it's our fault that these small minority of people they're destroying our country, and they're destroying us. And they're hurting us. They're hurting our children. My generation is the first generation that did worse, that is doing worse financially, economically, mentally, physically than our parents. Boomers, no offense, but damn. I'm a baby millennial, okay? So I'm at the very ass end of right before Gen Z. All right? There's no hope for us. And we've got to do something about it. We have to. And we have the ability to. And it's very simple. And I think it starts with, building this platform. So can you please share this for the love of God, for the love of your everything, for the love of our sanity, our society, for humanity, for each other. For each other. Stop fighting, everybody. I mean it. Your neighbor isn't your enemy. I love you. Please share this. Okay? We can do this. There's got to be something that's done. Or else we're just waiting to die. And I'm I, for one, I'm not willing to do it. So I just need your help.